Good morning. Today we are doing CO6, continuing to work with our decimals. Today we are adding and subtracting those decimals. Any wild guess on what the big rule to remember when we add and subtract decimals? Joy? Line up your decimals, okay? So adding and subtracting decimals is very similar to adding and subtracting multi-digit numbers that you've been doing for years. The numbers are lined up vertically by their place value, and the columns are added or subtracted. You may or may not need to carry or borrow. Okay, so we're gonna review what that means. Be sure to line up your decimal points, and with addition and subtraction, the decimal drops straight down. Check your answer by first making sure it's reasonable. We can use our calculator to check answers. On the test, do you think we're going to use our calculator? No. For homework, you use the calculator just as a way to check, was I doing my math correctly? But because you cannot use the calculator on the test for this, don't use it to get your answer. Only use it to check answers. So let's look at that adding or subtracting. And I need to make sure my pen is working. So fun with technology. All right. So these ones already have our decimal points lined up. 2 plus 1 we know is 3. 9 plus 1 is 10. This is where we have to carry over. We put the 0 of the 10 down here and we carry over that 1. So 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. And remember that decimal place goes straight down. Then we have subtracting. Hold on, I've got my decimal places lined up. Tenths places, hundredths place. Well, look at that thousands place. Do I just put that 1 down low? Well, why not? Why can't I just bring that 1 down? There's nothing to subtract it from. So I should be able to just put my 1 down low. Rhoda? I have to add a 0 to those missing spaces. So now I have a 0 here. I have a 0 there in my empty place. Now it's 0 minus 1. Well, I can put the 1 down now, right?
No.
Why not? Haley? Yeah, because can I take 1 away from nothing?
No.
No. So I have to borrow to make that 0. I'm going to turn it into a 10. So I'm going to change that 3 into a 2, and I'm going to change my 0 to a 10. Can I take 1 away from 10? Yeah, I can. So 10 minus 1 is 9. 2 minus 8, if I have 2, can I take 8 away? No, so I have to do the same thing. I have to borrow. I'm going to change that 6 to a 5, and I'm going to change that 2 to a 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. 5 minus 3 is 2. I carry that decimal straight down. 0 minus 4, I can't take 4 away from 0. So I have to borrow again. 10 minus 4 is 8, and 1 minus 1 is 0. Michael?
What if, since you have 6 already, at the beginning of the, on top of the 3, wouldn't you go from that to 2 to 0?
You're talking about borrowing right from the start, borrowing them all. You could do that. I like to go one spot at a time. That's just the way my brain works it. Because sometimes you don't have to borrow so many times. So for these two, you're going to have to line up your decimals. So you're going to rewrite the problem so they're stacked on top of each other. Big thing to remember is you need to check what operation you're doing. Am I adding, am I subtracting? Because you're doing both, add and subtract. Jackson.
Isn't the 8 supposed to be 6?
Thank you, Jackson. When I go too fast, I even make mistakes. 10 minus 4 is not 8. Silly Mrs. Gambino. 10 minus 4, as Jackson said, is a 6. I appreciate when we are following along and checking my math every once in a great while. I don't make many mistakes. Jackson already found the one for, this trimester. All right, so the next two, you are going to line up yourself and do the adding and subtracting. Now let's look at what we're doing under that. Surely at some point in your life you have purchased something and needed change. The amount of change you will receive is the price of the item subtracted from the amount of money you gave. For each situation below, find the amount of change, show and check your work. So the price of your candy that you're buying, because we love our gummy nerd clusters, it's $7.50. I have a $10 bill in my pocket that I'm going to give the cashier. I need to know how much money that cashier is giving back to me. Okay? So how do I set up my problem? What should I do, Rhoda?
Let's start by lining up the decimals.
Okay, so I've got 750. $10 doesn't have a decimal. Haley?
I do need to add 2 zeros after the 10 and add a decimal.
Oh, after that ones place is always a decimal. If there's nothing in those tenths and hundredths place, we put zeros. So I could say, okay, 10, line up my decimal, and I fill it with zeros. Does that look right? Maddie, why does that not look right?
Because there's nothing in the tenth place, we need to have something.
Oh, I have 750 minus 10 because I had 750 minus 10 up here. That's not what I was supposed to do?
No.
Jack, what should I do?
You need to have a bigger number on top.
So in these problems, why specifically do I need that bigger number on top? What is that bigger number telling me? Michael?
That you're subtracting.
Not necessarily. We know we're subtracting because of the word problem. Joy?
Because that's what you gave, and then you have to subtract.
Remember, I'm giving my money to the cashier. How much did I give? That's the first number. I'm giving $10, so that's our first number. The cashier's taking away the price of my gummy nerd clusters, and then I'm getting my change back. That's the answer. How much change do I get back? So you want to think through what you're actually doing. And I'm pointing this out specifically for a reason. I have a lot of friends that go too quick on this, and they say 750 minus 10. And then they make some mistakes in their math. Okay? Be careful. Always think through, what is my words telling me? I give $10. The cashier is taking away our $7.50, and I'm finding what is remaining, how much money I have left. Did you have a question? Okay, so remember, if we don't have a decimal place, you put it after the ones and add your zeros. Because I can't say, well, I have to borrow, right, when you got the 0 on top. I can't take 5 away from 0, so I have to do my borrowing. Any questions on this one? So make sure you're paying attention. The money given is your first number. The cashier's taking away how much you owe. on the bottom. Sometimes it's easier to count up when figuring change. For example, you buy something that is $12.30 and you pay with $20. It takes 70 cents to get up to 13 and then $7 to get to $20. So your change will be $7.70. So it says practice this method on each situation below or use the standard method explained above. So some of us like to try to do mental math with it. So if I look at this one, I'm giving them my $5 and I get $3.25 for my candy bar I want. That's an expensive candy bar, must be a king size. Okay, so the price of my candy bar is $3.25. I give $5, how much do I get back? So when I do that rounding, that counting up method, I could say in my head, okay, to go from 325, I want to go up to that whole dollar next. So 25 cents, I know there's 75 cents to get me up to $4. And then to go from $4 to $5, that's another dollar. So I'm going to get $1.75 back. Some of our minds like to work it that way. And we add it up, we count up. Some of us are saying, ooh, I've never heard of this, that's new, that's different, I don't quite get it. Do you have to count up? No. It says, practice this method or use the standard method up above. So you use which one works for you. If we were to use the method up above, we would say, okay, I'm giving $5 and I'm subtracting out that $3.25 for my king size candy bar. Now I have to borrow I had to borrow a lot because there were a lot of zeros. 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 2 is 7, 4 minus 3 is 1. Carrying that decimal down, I get the same answer. So it doesn't matter which way you use, as long as you're doing it correctly. Right? So you decide, do I want to just keep doing that subtracting method? Got it, I know it, I've done it before. Or do I want to do the counting up? If you do the counting up method, you do have to show your work. Show me what you were adding up to get up to that amount. And check your work. How do we check our work? What did we say at the beginning of this lesson? How are we checking our work? Presley, what are you going to use? Your calculator. You can't straight up use the calculator to begin with because then you're not practicing what's going to be on the test. Because there is no calculator for this on the test. Okay? The whole point of the objective is that you know how to do it without the calculator. We can use it to check to make sure we're doing it correctly. So do the math, write it out, and then check to see if you did it correctly. This is a one-page assignment. If you finish with this objective before class is done, math packet, you can bring it right up to me so I can correct it right away for you. I do have a bunch to pass back for people to work on. If you are finished with the math packet, you've gotten 100% on it, then it is quiet work time. We have friends who are working on math. You are not to distract them by those fun, lovely conversations that we like to have. Math class, math time, math work. Okay? Any questions on today's assignment? If you are watching this at home, I hope you are well. I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe.